Well, hello there, geeks, and happy Halloween. Welcome to our annual, is it semi-annual? I think we cover two of these a year because
Well, we get through like 12 issues a year, so or 24. Yeah, so I guess it would be semi-annual
yeah.
Halloween. Because it's so funny because you said it to me the other day, and I was like, "Wait, we're there already?
Yeah, it's
We're there."
crazy to think how quickly it comes around, but we're excited that it does because the cosplay in the 90s from the Wizard readers entering the All Dressed Up and No Place to Go contest. This is the sixth year in a row in 1997 that Wizard was offering some pretty cool prizes here. I just want to read really quick what was up for grabs, okay? So they said all the honorable mention winners each win a killer stack of 15 comics autographed by some of the industry's biggest names. They don't tell you who, but still fun. While the runner-up takes home a Wolverine statue, a X-Men statue, a Crow, Joker, and King Kong model kit, an X-Men video, a X-Men t-shirt signed by John Byrne. I want that one. The grand
Hmm.
prize winner burns down the barn, is how they put it, with a Wolverine statue, a Frankenstein statue, which kicks huge ass, and a Super Nintendo and assorted cartridges, which this was the PlayStation era. So it's hilarious that they were giving away a Super Nintendo at this time.
Yeah.
Nobody cared anymore. A Hulk laser sculpture. Whoa, whatever that is. A Joker model kit, an X-Men video, and a Stylin Sin City t-shirt, notably not signed by Frank Miller. Hey, John Burns signed a t-shirts. Come on. But let's get into it, Michael, here. Let's see who's starting off the fun here.
So I'm gonna try something, see if this works. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I am going to share my screen here so we can actually see it full screen.
Okay.
Um, so we start off with a Xena warrior princess, and it says, "Homework, bah! I'll kill you where you stand."
So you gotta love this little girl on horseback. She's got a sword. We don't see her with that little, circular disc frisbee thing that Xena shows her frisbee blade. I don't know. I know there's an official name for it, but still, she's looking pretty awesome there astride that horse.
Astride.
Stride. I was looking for the right word. It just felt like it fit the Xena universe. All right. Next up here, though, are a series of JLA costumes. Of course, this was like the biggest book in the world at this time. Like it was so popular. And we have a Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. We got a Superman with kind of some floppy hair. We got a Kelly Jones looking Batman with the giant ears
Yeah.
sticking up. We have our Connor Hawk Green Arrow, a pretty awesome Martian Manhunter, just like the full commitment to the green, right?
He seems like he would be a little cold in comparison to everybody else.
And he says, I hope this green paint comes off, little John. Ah, his little John. But the funniest one to me, and the guy who may actually end up being the chilliest because he has no cape, is the
Yes.
Aquaman.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Because number one, I'm surprised Wizard had the ability to not immediately go for the poop joke because he's crouched,
Yes.
dramatically. But also, if you look at him, he's got the chintziest, cheapest looking beard glued to his face. But then
Yes.
he doesn't have the long blonde hair. You could find a beard, but you couldn't find a long
I
blonde
know.
wig to put on. Like, come on,
The old Captain Hook hand is pretty funny too. Like,
spray painted gold. Yeah.
yes, it's fantastic. But right next to that, we have a Doctor Strange, which is actually a pretty good costume. I'll give it that. And this one says, by the hoary hosts of Hog, what does it say?
Yeah, by the hoary hosts of Hoggoth.
I command you to take off your
Can't even
pants.
finish it. So
Why?
Michael, I'm going to tell you the other night when we were recording episode 75 with our guest Robert Brockway, we looked at a few of these quickly, and that was the one that stood out to him the most. He's like, that's just what a normal magician asks you to do. Magicians are weird.
I guess so, yes.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh
all
boy.
right, next one here seems like it was tailor made for you. We have a Batman and Robin team up here, which is pretty cool. Could have used a little better lighting. Looks like they're kind of backlit by the sun that day. But you have Batman going, And then Robin said, "Got him!" So, spitting on somebody from the rooftop. But it looks more like animated series to me. I don't know if you think that because just the belts seem pretty chunky, and I don't know. What do you think?
It's kind of like an amalgam. I almost feel like it's like a 60s Batman with
Yeah, because
like
it's
the
got the
night
yellow oval. You're right.
yeah, with like the almost like the 1940s cowl, you know? Kind of doesn't know what
Little
it wants to
floppy
be.
ears. Yeah.
And and the Tim Drake Robin. So it's fine. It's cool. It's I would have exactly like I said, lit it differently. Like the background should be darker, or they should be more lit, like almost like the Alex Ross kind of like spotlight type of a
Yeah.
cover, that sort of thing.
Well, what's funny is next to it, they added, in addition to their dramatic pose, they have like a three posed, kind of chronological photo story of a crook, I'm assuming, trying to escape and Robin jumping up on the hood, but then
Yeah,
slamming his face into the windshield like he didn't quite time it right, which is hilarious. Like, okay.
that is pretty funny. And then right next to it, they have a Catwoman who is saying, "Boy wonder indeed." I guess. I guess sure. Oh my
Then down
goodness.
below, this is one that I feel like deserves a lot of credit, which is the thing. I mean, you got a great Ben Grimm looking here, very bulky, but like the sculpting on the foam or whatever they were using really shows off the rock chunks. He says, "Get out of the John! Get out of the John!" He's just
Oh,
breaking through the
weird.
door. Can you imagine the thing coming into the bathroom? Ah!
Make way for me. So next up we have a like almost like a Brave and the Bold Green Arrow and Green Lantern, and they're saying, "Goddamn tree huggers, die nature boy."
I don't
What?
know. I feel like wasn't Ollie all about the hippies? I can see
Yes,
how maybe.
he's
Yeah.
yeah, I don't understand that. It seems like it's got it backwards.
I guess
But
because they're in a forest. That's the only thing I can think of is that they're out in nature, and so there must be some hippies running around,
I guess so.
flower children.
All right, so I'll go to the next page now. So we'll check this one out, number two.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
So,
Ooh, look at that. Hey, just for me, it's Gen 13. A full group photo. What I find interesting about this one when I was reading through is so this is actually a recreation of the number one oh no, was it the yeah. No, it wasn't a number one, but it was one where Jim Lee came and drew the cover. So that first big picture is a pose of a
mhm,
Jim Lee thing. But then the other one is the Wizard cover.
right, the J. Scott Campbell cover.
Yeah, which is exciting. And it's funny because another person for the homemade heroes section had posed some Barbies that they made custom outfits for in that same pose for that cover. So it was very influential for these wizard contest entrants.
It's pretty good. Like that's I mean, especially for this era of cosplay, this is actually very, very good. So I'm pretty impressed. Now, down below it though, I don't know which one is worse here. I'll take the dark side one, and it says, "I'm mad, I'm bad, and I'm full of Dove bars."
Oh, this is
Dove
another one that
bars are
we talked
delicious.
about. Yeah, this is I mean, Robert Brockway's point was that Darkseid's already a little chunky. So this guy being chunky, it just fits the character.
Yeah, it's something, all right.
But for Lobo, this one's pretty hilarious. It's like, so come back next week for another episode of Lobo, Frontier Dentist. Looks like he's gonna attach that chain to your tooth and just
He
drive
he
off.
almost looks like Lobo Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's it's a pretty, I mean, again, like pretty impressive when you just think like you probably just spray painted a bunch of stuff white,
Yeah.
found some different pieces, but the muscles on the arms, that always impresses me. So
And the mop for a hair is pretty good too, that he spray painted purple. So the next up we have is a very hard to like see because it's kind of a bad background,
yeah.
but it's a red skull. I mean, the skull looks pretty good from what I can tell. And it says, "I wonder if I left the iron on." Why would that make sense?
I mean, the prosthetics slightly better than the 1990 Captain America film. So there you
Marginally
go.
better. Yes, I
Yeah.
would say so.
Now, Earthworm Jim, I always find it interesting when like people submit like, what's a video game character? I guess he's sort of a superhero, but I don't know if he got a comic book adaptation.
I don't
But either,
remember.
yeah, it's pretty awesome how he has like the coiled body for the neck area. Like
Hmm.
it looks really good. And he just says, "Grr, the wet ones are the worst ones." Oh, come on. It's all bathroom humor here.
The next one is it's she, right? That's how it's pronounced. Is
Yeah.
she? Yeah. Um, rocks, damn you. Bring me more rocks. She's in some sort of quarry or something.
Yeah. It's pretty great. This next one, again, I love this sequencing and I love the idea of having a couple doing it together because this is a married couple, Frank and Gina Logan, it says here. And it's so first you have Superman stopping a train and there's actual steam coming out of the train. And I'm like, where was this? They're in a train park. But he's saying, ha, much like my hairline, you shall now recede, devil train. This guy's hair is not receding, but it's still a good joke. The best one here, though, is talk to the hand, Invisible Jet, because you have Wonder Woman just posed next to nothing, but putting her
Hmm.
hand up like there's a jet there, which is awesome. And then the last one is the two of them kissing, and he says, "Hey, I think you just swallowed my gum. Mmm, grape." Oh, that's gross. That's
Now,
just gross.
you assume they're married. They could be brother and sister.
I wasn't gonna say it, but yes, I was concerned.
It's hard to tell. They do look a lot alike. So,
Kinky in more ways than one. You know, they're not just
what
cosplaying.
now? What's your thoughts on the like? Every so often they do this Superman and Wonder Woman kind of match up as opposed to Lois Lane. What's your feelings on it?
Well, it's one of those things. John Byrne explored it when he was writing Superman comics. Frank Miller has explored it in his stuff. I I always feel like it makes sense from a power level, but
Hmm.
like when you look at like Superman is much more a human being than I feel like Wonder Woman is. So it makes
Right.
sense he would be with Lois, like the
Yeah.
most strong-willed of human beings. But like I just don't think he and Diana would have really that much in common. She wasn't raised in Kansas.
Yeah. He is almost more human than most humans in a lot of ways. Like
Yeah.
what the ideal of what a human being should be to one another is what he is, kind of thing. I yeah, I agree. Fair point. Good argument. I I concur. So this one here, we're starting with American flag and Raoul. Did
If you're a big
American flag
Howard Chaykin fan, then this one stood out to you, but
did
nope.
he have a pet named Raoul?
He must have. He must have
I
had a pet cat, but I never read American Flag comics. I think I have one issue and I bought it and then it was in Spanish. And I was like, how did I get a Spanish language edition? Like it was weird.
see before I saw this, I thought this was that guy who's like this on again, off again Captain America. Like,
Oh, Jack Flag. Yeah.
yes, that's what I was thinking
But
of.
he has
Yeah.
like a grifter mask that he wears, like the red that hangs down.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. I can see that.
So he says, "Here, kitty, 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 flags feeling frisky."
uh,
And a little bit of animalistic, I guess you'd say.
yeah. The next one here, though, Scarlet Witch, very solid. Pretty much looks like what we got on WandaVision. Like the style of it is just that classic look.
Yeah,
And she says, "Quick, take the damn picture before some desperate fanboy spots me."
she's not wrong. She's
Yeah.
not wrong. So the next up we have is a RoboCop, and it says, "Hey, who's up for RoboCop 4? Hello? Anybody there? Hello?"
Oh, Fred Decker tried his best with RoboCop 3. But what's funny is I feel like last time we got a Cylon and this time we get a RoboCop.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. All right. Very excited about the first runner up. If you just want to know how big Amalgam was at this time, well, somebody made 6 whole costumes based on Amalgam characters. So this is pretty awesome here. I love so the guy who made the costume, Scott Crawford, of course, he puts himself in the Dark Claw outfit. And you're just like, oh,
Hmm.
I can't believe a Dark Claw outfit existed. But then he's got, the rogue runaway character from JLX, and then he's got the Amazon character. But I love how they're both just kind of like, Yeah, okay, Dark Claw. Like there were balloons, like they're not as excited. He's like, come on, girls. Which is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty
Uh,
funny.
yeah, and then you want to cover the next three?
Sure. So the next three are uh Angel Hawk, a Green Goblin, and a Furrow Man.
Yeah, Pharaoh Man. Yeah, he was part of the what was it, X Patrol? Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there were some weird amalgams.
Well, I love the idea of the fact that the Green Goblin costume is just a Green Goblin costume, but he had to do a Harvey Dent face because that's like the joke is Two Face
Yeah,
and the Green Goblin mix. So that's pretty awesome because but he can just use it next year and just be Green Goblin, you know?
that's true. Yeah, for sure. So I don't have any other pages. I don't have any other
I think
scans.
I totally didn't send you the other page. So let me pull that up here. That's totally on me. So now I'll share my screen. You got it?
I got it.
Our
Yes.
grand prize winner. What do you think?
A Justice Society of America? Wow. Well, I Dr. Fate's pretty good.
Dr. Fate, that looks like a very like this is what the movie version of Dr. Fate would have been in the 90s, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's very much got a different style. The rest really look like ripped from the page, you know?
I mean, if you're going in that particular direction, sure, yes. I don't know if I love the Wonder Woman like look all that
Oh,
much.
really?
I mean, I get it. It is very much, of that era,
Yeah.
but it's doesn't seem like it's like those Gen 13s were better costumes, I
Oh,
think.
okay.
The Hawkman's pretty good. The Jay Garrick I do like. I love that helmet on Jay Garrick. That's one of my favorite things in comics. I, Alan Scott, I mean, it's very, very accurate. I don't know if I like the puffy shirt like Seinfeld, but sure, fine.
I don't want to be a
Works.
pirate. Well, I knew you would be more critical of this because you've read so many, JSA comics. You love those characters so much. So I do think it's interesting, though, that this guy, Kelly DeCambria, who won, guy or gal, I don't know, our winner, Kelly DeCambria. I don't know. I think this says, yeah, it took our man, Kelly, here some 2 years to whip up these awesome JSA members. And it
Ooh,
certainly
yeah.
shows.
Oh, the
So
members or the actual costumes?
to find friends that would wear it. Come on, guys. I'll buy you lunch. But he says here, I had to go a little deeper to say, okay, am I going to make these costumes cartoony looking, more or less along the lines of spandex? And I decided, no, I'm not putting these things in spandex or lycra. They're kind of hokey. So I took a lot of trips to the library and comic book conventions with some of the people that created these characters. I had an interview with Golden Age artist Sheldon Moldoff, and he was the one who inspired me to create these costumes. I was like, wow, there's a whole origin story behind like how he got so inspired. So very cool. It also says he's working on a Plastic Man costume with hydraulics in the arms to allow it to stretch, like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll give him credit for that amount of research and effort. Okay, he deserves to win. Fine. If he put in that much time and effort to make these work, have at it, pal. Good job. Congratulations. I do think the Dr. Fate is the best one by far.
It's
Like,
very impressive. Yeah.
yeah.
It's really ornate. The last thing I just want to read here as we close out, because Wizard wanted to shout out their readers and we want to shout out our listeners. So as we read it, feel like we're speaking to you, those of you who are choosing to watch this video and listen to the podcast. They say, and hey, one last thing before we go. We don't say this often as we should, but you guys, the fans, are just awesome. Your enthusiasm to dress up like maniacs in public, have your photos shown in an international magazine with us poking fun at you. Well, you guys are just the best. Without you, Wizard would suck. Thanks for helping us kick butt again this month, and we'll do this costume insanity thing again next year. So
Or in
very
our case,
heartfelt.
6 months from now.
Yeah. All a good time. And it's nice to have a moment of sincerity from Wizard to their fans.
That is true. That is true. But
And
it's true though. Like, if same with the podcast, like we wouldn't be making this content if it wasn't for the listeners and the fans and the subscribers and all that kind of stuff. So we really appreciate you, and it means a lot to us, to have you guys around, following us on our Instagram at Wizards Comics, or Facebook Wizards Comics, or Instagram Wizards_comics, at the website, or even the T Public store or Patreon. Like, we're very grateful for everything, truly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Make sure you subscribe to look out for more because we will be back soon. But hey, until next time, keep your books bagged and boarded.